The northeast side, carved out of limestone that dates back centuries, you'll find Subtropolis, the world's largest underground business complex.
Okay, so let's talk about it. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about Subtropolis as if these are the underground tunnels in LA. Let me assure you, they will never show us that. But that does give us an idea of what it could be like. And if you don't believe in the underground tunnels in LA, just listen to this story. In the 70s and 80s, there was a house bought by Mitzi Shore on Sunset Boulevard. And yes, Shore is in the mother of Pauly Shore. She's the owner of the very popular comedy club, The Comedy Store. Like every comedian you know has played there. The house was called Crest Hill, eventually became kind of a hub or like what we would probably think of as like a content house now. A ton of comedians would come to stay, like they would have their own room and live there for a while. Alan Steffen, who was there during that time, he used to be the showrunner for Roseanne, even called Crest Hill the frat house. And Mitzi saw herself as like the den mother. And a lot of people report that if you go to that house, there's an underground tunnel that leads you from that house to the Comedy Store. Even Tana Mojo talked about it on the Canceled podcast because I'm pretty sure she looked at that home to buy. But there's a lot of bad juju around it. If you look it up, a lot of unalivings. Lots of shady stuff happening with comedians in the 70s and 80s, and still probably now. That's just one semi-confirmed underground tunnel. I am so sure there are so many more. What do you guys think?
Now, she is right about one thing. They are not going to show us their secret tunnels on camera, but I was very curious about this Subtropico located in California, and this is what I found, this news report, and again, it's very eerie.
Large working city operating deep underground as we go about our lives on the surface above. It's real, and it's right here in the United States.
Subtropolis. Decades ago, limestone was mined here for concrete and asphalt. What's left is space. A lot of space.
Okay, so what's down here right now? We have 6 million square feet of buildings leased to 55 companies. There's 1,700 employees that run around here and go to work every day.
It's a massive industrial park, all underground.
Do you ever worry like the world could come to an end upstairs and you guys would just be down here safe, toiling away, right?
I feel like Fort Knox. Security is a big selling point. Subtropolis is basically disaster-proof. Another selling point? Subtropolis is always 65 degrees. Always. What better place then to put a room full of computer servers? There's a lot of cool stuff in Subtropolis, especially in a company called Underground Vaults and Storage.
What are you going to show us? We're going to show you Hollywood right behind these doors.
Inside, aisle upon aisle of TV and movie treasures sent here by the studios for safekeeping. From the National Archives to food distributor Harris Brothers, the occupants of Subtropolis praise the predictability of doing business in a place where the sun never shines nor sets.
In this next disturbing video, this individual also captured sounds coming from beneath the ground, which sound very similar to these sounds that were heard coming from Kentucky. It sounds like there's an operation beneath the ground.
I have no idea what's going on, but listen to this. There's something under the ground, and it sounds like it's about to bust out. It's over here in the field.
Here are the skyquakes being heard in Los Angeles on December 24th, 2024, just days before the fires. And it really makes me wonder, are these booms really coming from the skies, or maybe they are coming from below the ground? this individual on TikTok, Demix A Savage, he goes on to explain how multiple people in different locations of Southeast LA are hearing these loud booms, these explosions, and they never see anything in the skies. And again, it goes back to what I was saying. Maybe these booms are not coming from the skies, but maybe they are coming from beneath the ground. People working on tunnels.
Everyone in the Southeast LA area, so like Southgate, Downey, Whittier, Maywood, Huntington Park, Bell Gardens, Bellflower, Pico Rivera, Santa Fe Springs, Lakewood. If I'm forgetting a city, it's not a reflection on you, it's a reflection on me because of age. Have a quick question. Over the last few years, I've heard multiple reports. I've seen them online and I've talked to people who have heard, and I've heard it once or twice, multiple reports of like these mysterious loud explosions in our night sky, right? No one knows where they're coming from. There's a bunch of like, oh, it's fireworks, but you don't see none in the night sky. It's construction, it's planes, it's this, it's that, and the third, your mom fell out of bed, things like that, right? And this morning I wake up and there's about 7 or 8 alerts on my Ring camera app. And I think this is the second or third time this happened this week where people are reporting loud explosions, loud sounds in multiple cities around me, right? I did read one post this morning where they said that their police department has said, yeah, it's fireworks, and some people did report seeing fireworks, but you can hear it miles and miles and miles away, right? So maybe last night was fireworks, but it got me thinking of, I've been wanting to ask this question, right? Have people heard these mysterious loud sounds in the night sky over the last few years? Does anyone have any sort of verification where they're coming from? I'm not trying to become a conspiracy theorist. I'm not trying to be like, oh my God, it's moment coming from from underneath the ground, and they're crawling their way up and that's the sound you're hearing. None of that. I'm just saying, like, do we have a logical, verified source of where these loud sounds are coming from over the last few years? Just curious. Yeah. I mean, if it's a spooky answer, like I want to hear that too, because that'd be kind of cool. We can go look for the chupacabra together. Make it a field trip.